Welcome back, everybody, to what is our second game of Norway versus Sweden. Part of our Dota 2 show matches. They're educational as well as entertaining, is what the mix we try and actually go with. That's right, we're like cooking with Dota, man. Cooking with Dota, except I'm not like a big fat man chef kind of thing. And it's also not two ladies who try and ride a motorbike. And in the meantime, we are here for the world of Dota 2. And let's actually just jump ourselves straight into that. If I actually hit the right button. There we go. There we hit the right button. So we can jump in here. I am still down here in the box. If you want to see me, I am still down here. Of course, I do look a little bit more sickly today due to the fact that we have just hit winter here in Berlin. And as an Australian, I am a warm-blooded creature. And, well, as I say, it's bloody cold. So, yeah, I am still down here, even though slightly sickly. So let's jump ourselves into the game. We'll give ourselves some audio as well inside the game. It is going to be a little bit softer, obviously. The important thing is actually you listen if you do want to play the game. However, there are some awesome sound effects that do come out. We're checking out bans right now. So we see Prophet being banned out, Anti-Mage, as well as a Weaver being removed as well. So two big Agi carries being taken out, Anti-Mage as well as the Weaver. Anti-Mage, basically most people class him as the strongest hero in the world of Dota 2 right now, due to the fact that, and he's the same in Dota 1, if you get enough farm on him, he basically becomes unstoppable. Spectre's also in the ban pool, so we lose out three of our big Agi heroes, and Prophet as well, who we all know is basically completely overpowered. The ability to TP anywhere on the map, your ultimate, which will bounce 16 times and does more damage with every single bounce that it does. You can create an army out of trees. And, of course, you also have a lock-in stun. It's not really a stun, it's just a lock-in. You get caught in a sprout. So, yeah, it's really harsh for that. So, yeah, I'm not playing as that team's Korea. Thanks, guys, in the IRC. We will see Ancient Apparition come out now. Ancient Apparition, there's a lot of debate and will always be the same. It's just like, oh, is the Colossus overpowered? Yes, it is. They have legs. They can walk up and down cliffs. Same sort of thing with Dota. Global Presence is what is always classed as overpowered. Ancient Apparition comes in leaps and bounds for Global Presence. Early on, the PS2, pretty good for initiation. So we're looking at Cold Feet. Do you really need something to actually chain that one up? So Cold Feet, you put distance away, the Cold Feet will have no effect. If he doesn't run, however, you will get locked in a ball of frost. It's just called Cold Feet. We also have the Ice Vortex, which actually increases all magical damage inside it, which not many people actually use. But if you're in the world of Cinderins, people do actually use it. So definitely check that one out too. But it's his big global ulti, which is the cool thing. You can pop it off anywhere on the map. A little bit hard to actually hit, but you got to predict where the action's going to go. Just set yourself up and have good communication with your team. So you send it out, and basically does a good burst damage, and it actually hits anything in a big AoE area. You'll see the little ball of ice that will come out from it. Your regeneration is stopped. Your regeneration is fully stopped, and if you're below 10% of your HP, I believe it is, I think it actually changes over time, then you will shatter and die. Yeah, so basically, not a fan of the cold, don't have enough life to get yourself through the coldy, breezy kind of thing, and you become like me here in Germany. You'll just shatter and die. I'm hoping I'm not going to die, by the way. I, however, might shatter my nose. Our next picks up, we got Lich as well as Mirana was the answering picks after the Ancient Apparition. So Lich good for lane control. Mirana, great side solo. Also great, and I really want to try and, like, don't want to say hard carry, and I don't want to say semi-carry. I'll explain what I actually mean by those two terms later on. Mirana can go into both of those roles because she basically, depending on how much farm she gets, depends on how much crit she actually does. I think it should be actually this open kind of debate thing. When we get our joined Dota forums up, then we can have our debate on there. But yeah, Mirana, hard carry, semi-carry. I personally see her as a hard carry in the hands of people who play her as a crit hero, and she's a semi-carry for people who actually go Lincoln Sphere first. So it all depends on the way you actually create the hero. Earthshaker is also picked up by the Dire. Great one for controlling the lanes early on the piece. Not to mention that ultimate is absolutely beautiful when it actually comes to big team fights. Great counter to a big team fight that wants to be prepared by the opposition. The downside for him, though, is that generally ES is picked up if you're going up against a Chen or an Enchantress. You can actually create physical targets. They actually create more units to actually push through the lane. Or Prophet, who actually creates triggers, so they do count as physical units. However, Enigma was actually picked up by the Radiant. So Enigma actually coming up into the lineup creates conversion. So while they do actually replicate themselves out with every, I think it's 7 attacks they do, they replicate themselves. Hey, Pudge is in the mix. But yeah, Enigma able to create those. They don't stack with the ES ulti. ES ulti gets more powerful with every physical unit. They don't stack on ethereal units. So that's the biggest problem with the ES ulti. When that kind of happens, it is still very, very powerful, though. And we're seeing some very, very interesting picks coming up. I love to see the Toothy Gridman. It looks like he has 2 sets of teeth with his picture. And Windrun's also coming out last one. So Shadow Fiend, Pudge, as well as Troll, Dazzle. Better call him by his old name. Dazzle actually comes in towards the mix. Shadow Fiend's actually not a hero which many of us actually see. He is... even in the world of Dota 1, he's not really seen. He's great as far as burst damage goes, and if you're looking for a good mid-solo, he's a good one to go with. And considering the Dire actually has, and I'm going to say it, no hard carry, depending how Mirana is played, then yeah, it can change up our world, man. It can change your world. They need to actually run a good hero in the mid. And I got a funny feeling that Windrunner will actually be going up against that SF in mid, but if that happens, then Windrunner's going to have a pretty hard time as well. Windrunner is still an intelligence hero, and an intelligence hero takes a lot of damage, obviously. She does pop off arrows, but that does not make her agility. She is still an intelligence hero. So we'll take a lot of damage from that Shadow Fiend in mid. We do actually finally have our load, and we have one player, the Windrunner player, actually, who disconnects or just has not selected Windrunner just yet. I win for Austria. Yeah, thanks, man. Small bit of a little bit of a lag up there. Are you the Spider-Man, Toby? Oh, I could have been bitten by a radioactive microphone if that was actually possible. Then we can go with that kind of concept. But no, I am not Spider-Man. I would be really happy though if I was. That would be kind of cool, man. Like seriously, like apart from the whole thing of spiders, I actually hate spiders, so that wouldn't be as cool. All right, so let's check out players. We've got RMX playing the Shadow Fiend. He will be going solo mid, like all good Shadow Fiends do. Rune control is so important for him. So actually look to see him actually with a little bit more. Actually, no, he doesn't. He bought boots. Straight off the cuff for Shadow Fiend. So rather surprising item to actually do. Lich is doing the Toby tactic. What is Lich doing? Where is Lich?
30 seconds.
That's not a Toby tactic. That's a standard tactic. Okay, Lich has this ability called Sacrifice. It's actually more important to use Sacrifice at level 1 than it is to actually get his harassment as well as nuke, which is Frost Blast. So a Frost Blast it's great for harassment, but Sacrifice takes a creep, demolishes it, makes it your mana, and removes out all form of XP for the opposition. So it holds the creep wave back at this tower, which means Lich can actually tower hug. He can almost get 2 deniers in with just his first wave, because you see him remove out one of the melee. Surprising though, most of the time you take out the range creep, because the range creep will love to push a lot more. But by taking out the meat shields, obviously, you will actually die a little bit faster. Well, yeah, this guy will die a little bit faster. The block actually puts the range creep in front, so he will be fine. So they actually have a DC? No, everyone's actually still in. It's just the support heroes actually out. So let's have a look. Enigma's going to go neutraler. This is a concept which a lot of League of Legends people actually know, and they just know him as a jungle hero. Oh, actually, we did lose off the Dazzle, so Dazzle is gone. But they will hold him on the top lane. You can control his hero after it actually goes down, but Pudge's going to have a hard time on the top lane. Sexy Bamboo, he loves to initiate. Wow, the stench of flies, you can hear it coming through.
I see it slow.
Yeah. In the meantime, though, while my break is back again, we do actually have Dazzle back in again. So it looks like he's actually reconnected in, gets fissured off, and this is that lane control I was talking about. Magic Missile stun. Mirana, if she changed off an arrow right here, should easily get the kill. Doesn't need to, though. First blood goes to Vengeful Spirit in the top lane. And that's the big problem when, she got an ES Fissure. Big wall of rock. You can't walk through it. That's why a lot of lanes, when they go up here on the top solo, they would have been banking on the fact that Sexy Bamboo could go forward. They would never have to go inside the sides, and then we'll just have heal. The Shadow Wave will just come out from Dazzle, and he'll just heal everybody up. But he actually went Shallow Grave. Okay, that's a new one. So he didn't even actually pop that off in time. So the Shallow Grave is a big effect when you actually see it. So unable to get that one off and gives away first blood in the top lane. Maybe he was just trying to skill it after he realized he's in trouble. He wasn't stunned to death. He could have actually got that one off, but MMN, unable to actually do so. Mid laner, we actually got Bottle running out. Why is Starfall at E? I don't know, man. Your Starfall's not at E. Leap is at E. Unless he's changed up his hotkeys. That's the only reason why that would actually happen. The abilities are actually defaulted. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that is Q, W, E, R. You can change it to anything you want, though. All you got to do is just go into your menu bar and then just change it. You can even do it on the fly. Fissure now goes off once again. It's a good Fissure block as well. Magic Missile, Stumble Hole, Shallow, Sexy Bamboo in place. But of course, there is that Shallow Grave. Keeps them alive. And actually turn it around pretty nicely, though. She get the kill there on the Earthshaker. So it's at least a little bit of tip for tap. It's the power of that Shallow Grave when you actually find yourself in a very, very bad position. Pop the Shallow Grave. There's nothing, you can't kill him. Shallow Grave is one of those abilities. Actually, that's one thing we should run through is Dazzle's abilities. So Shallow Grave, you cannot kill them for 5 seconds. Duration's the same. The only thing that changes when you actually increase the levels is the cooldown as well as how much mana actually costs. The mana cost is only like 10, well, you can see it right there, 10 mana difference, which is nothing. But a 15-second cooldown on Shallow Grave, so effective when it comes to team fights. You can save so many people during these team fights, especially if the team fight goes for a long period of time. The other ability he's actually got is actually Shadow Wave, so not to be confused with Shallow Grave. It's called Shadow Wave. So Shadow Wave will actually bounce off targets, will give them life back again, and will also damage any enemy unit which is actually around them. So it's a good offensive ability while also being a good protecting ability. Also has the Poison Touch. So Poison Touch, great for actually harassing as well. Oh, there goes our Fissure once again. Just harassment, there's nothing more. That's why he's got those clarities. What a hawk! Oh, Bamboo is a sexy beast. However, he is Pudge, so probably not that sexy. But Earthshaker being killed off. It's actually killed by the tower, so the last hit. The gold is shared between everybody. But it's a big, big thing when an Earthshaker just comes up that river. There's confidence for him to actually do so. It's a big, big thing. And once again, Sexy Bamboo just throwing out the hook, throws the rot, realizing he's actually low on mana. There goes that Shadow Wave I was telling you about. So just damages a little bit. It's not a lot of damage. It's really not. It's almost equivalent to what the Howl of Terror actually does from the Vengeful Spirit as far as damage actually does. But in case you didn't actually know, the Wave of Terror, sorry. You see the damage, 18, 37, 56, 75. So it's a little bit. It's a little bit of damage. You see the damage there. It's actually 80, 100, 120, 140. It's actually a little bit more damage. It's a little bit hard to actually do it. Howl of Terror goes in a direct line where Shadow Wave actually has to bounce off. So it had to have some kind of tit-a-tat for like what you actually run. 2 for 2 though is where we're going to sit. So at the moment, death for Dazzle, death for Bamboo. Kills both going for the Vengeful Spirit, which is a little bit surprising. Oh, hello. Yes, actually, Fish is going to go against him. It was originally designed to actually lock MMN in place. But once he gets pulled over the top, Bamboo, the ES can't actually get out there. He disappears into a pool of blood, which gets washed away by the river. It's a big thing you look for, Sexy Bamboo. He plays Pudge a hell of a lot. He also plays Initiating Role a hell of a lot as well. Shaker is a home player, by the way. Now, people in spectator mode, you will not be allowed to sit in the spectator mode for these future games if you keep that kind of talk up. I have a lot of very good friends who are Hon players, and they are decent players. There's just some people who take time to acclimatize to Dota 2. Same for like me. I play League of Legends. It's hard to play first time you actually play it. Same for Heroes of New Earth. It feels different. It plays different. Dota is a little bit slower. Hon, a little bit faster, actually. But that's not always a good thing. It depends what you actually prefer. The level 1 Ross is actually for denying. He's actually now up to level 2. It's actually for the slow. For the guy I actually just asked, I didn't actually see your name just there. I just saw it go past there. Rot you can actually suicide with, but Rot, the slow is actually the same. So you get a 20% slow, which holds all the heroes in. Arrow will fire down, but the Creep Wave said it'll easily tank it. So yeah, 1 level on that is more than enough. You want to stack up your hook a lot more before that. You can use it for killing off Creep Waves as well, because it does do that damage a little bit more. But yeah, it's actually a pretty good slow early on the piece. It's why it's really, really hard to run away from a Pudge when he's right behind you after the hook goes. So you need someone like Mirani who actually has that leap ability to get herself back out again. But it's also hard for Mirani. She has to turn herself around before she can leap. Mirani leaps in the direction she's actually facing, so it's not like the anti-mage blink where you can basically just pop it off in any direction, no matter where you're facing. You'll never know where he's going to go. Mirana, you can see her. She faces that direction and then leaps that direction. Get those hind legs up. Not meaning that in a sexual way. Ancient Apparition and Enigma now down the bottom lane. Ancient Apparition has that level 6 ultimate as well. Actually, no, he doesn't. No, he don't. What the hell, man? Did you misclick? One of the most powerful ultimates in the game. And now, there we go. Hang on, no, he does actually have it. Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. He pops level 6. For some reason, my eye saw level 3 on Vortex and level 3 on Cold Feet. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? But we're fine, though. We're fine. Bottom lane, though, they want to initiate. There goes that ultimate. Ancient Apparition. Just hurls it down. Just kills him on the initial burst damage. Even if he didn't, Lich would have been dead before that point. As in after that point. Shadow Fiend, a little bit too far in right now. He came in for the last hits, but VS is here. Magic Missile. Shackle will want to go. Actually, Shackle won't go because it can't really latch onto anything, so just power shots instead. Leaves a Shaker as well as VS to actually initiate for that. Sexy Bamboo and Dazzle actually going for a little bit of a wander around to look for that 8-minute room, which is nice up on that top lane. It's down the bottom lane. It's an illusion room.
Bottom tower is under attack.
TP goes back down towards the bottom lane, so Lich goes back to his life of prosperity on that bottom lane. And hello to Earthshaker being called out. Sexy Bamboo still has that hook. He's not level 6 just yet, but there goes that hook. A lot of damage it does. And then the rod as well. He has taken a lot of damage from that, but there goes that Urn Charge. Alaterra pops as well, but Cold Feet just forces the Vengeful Spirit to run back. That's Spiller's talking about. You need to run back, or else basically you get locked in one place, and then Sexy Bamboo would love to actually hook you. Because it's the big, oh wow, Windrunner, get it yourself out of there! Ulti to hold her in place with the Cold Feet, Ancient Apparition, massive overkill with that ultimate. Sexy Bamboo easily had that kill on the Windrunner. Meanwhile, back at the combination I was actually talking about, the combination of spells which works best for Pudge, you hook, you rot, you ulti. Generally goes in that order as well. The hook brings him in close, does that initial damage as well. You see the damage right there, so it's 270, 360 at level 4. Then the rot, so slows you down, makes it impossible to run away, and also dealing that damage. And then the Dismember. So basically just slices and dices, and then of course we do actually have that rot that's still going as well, so it holds you in place. And here goes our bottom lane, going to get ganked off as well. So there goes Lich. Earthshaker, she kills off Shadow Fiend in the meantime, but we'll watch Lich actually die. It's the top lane where the Shadow Fiend went up to by the looks of it. He should really not have been that far in. Actually see where he died right there. Shows his point of death. There's no reason why he should have been there when 4 heroes are down the bottom lane for them. Mid lane Dazzle. Dazzle kind of likes to live life on the edge. Unless they can perma-stun him, they can't kill him. So that's actually the really great thing about Dazzle. It's also the kind of the cool thing when it comes to fights. Like, do I kill off Dazzle? Like, I want to kill off Pudge, but I can't do it. I'm trying to attack him. He's got Shallow Grave on. The duration is 5 seconds where I cannot kill him. In 5 seconds, it's an eternity of time for Pudge to actually deal a crap load of damage. And then, of course, you have that weave ability. So, yeah, she's reading right there. Ally hero armor is increased while decreasing the enemy's armor. So, one every single time. Ancient Apparition. Oh, hello, Shadow Fiend. Sacrifice the Vengeful Spirit. Looks like it's going to be a double. And there's that Shallow Grave. Keeps Sexy Bamboo alive. So, Windrunner unable to get that kill. And there goes that. Here we goes Weave again. So I was just talking about the ability. So Weave was popped off. So basically it's impossible to kill off Sexy Bamboo at that point. Pops off an Urn Charge. He's involved in so many fights. Keeps popping those Urn Charges. And now hangs around for Lich. Ulti is still on cooldown, but he gets in front. Lich throws the ultimate up, but there's nothing for it to bounce to. And actually Sexy Bamboo pulling MMN closer with that hook to make sure he was actually there to help out. There's actually, again, the Ancient Apparition against Lycid. He better be buying a 4-star sometime soon. Very aggressive lineup coming out from the Radiant. They realize I need to actually create a big distraction for Shadow Fiend to get the farm that he needs. And Shadow Fiend's not. Like, boots in a bottle? That's nothing, man. A toddler's got more play toys than that. Sexy Bamboo looking for an ultimate. He gets stunned up by Vengeful Spirit. Now the hook. Slices and dices, man. The old classic Pudge Wars line. He was killed the old-fashioned way with the giant rusty metal hook. Windrunner's also here. Windrunner's got to be careful. Ashley tries to go. Hook lands! And dismember a ulti. Evasion cannot avoid the effect of the hook, even though it avoids the physical damage of it. And there goes our heal as well. Everybody stays up.
Dire's structures are fortified.
And we'll lose our mid-tier tier 1 tower. It's the first tower that should go down for the entire map. Yep, there it goes. Ancient Apparition once again filling the last hit. Looks like they don't want to end just yet. ES gets a fissure. Shallow grave. Cast off the weave. Punch hooks him back over the top with a fissure. Fantastic play coming out here from the Radiant. And Enigma wants to go! The black hole on the back of the blink. He's got all three. Punch goes through. The rot starts up. He is unstoppable. 3 heroes go down, and all Windrunner can do is write a vigil to the dying teammates. Marana might attend, but she'll be dressed in black of mourning. Now they will push the tier 2 tower in the mid. So much initiation. But there's so much farm on the Pudge as well. He can complete up his Vanguard soon. If he doesn't, he might even just go Hood. Whatever gives him the regen, he will go for. At this point, with the amount of kills he's been in, still got 3 charges on that urn. Such an amazing item. I was talking about it before in the last match. That urn, every single time you get a kill, you get yourself a charge. And you can either do damage, hook. Fisher goes. They might try and initiate right now on Sexy Bamboo. Dazzle's got to get closer. There goes the Shallow Grave. AA ultis can hit perfectly on the lineup. Lich Ollie will bounce around, doing a little bit of damage there to both Dazzle, and Dazzle being the sacrificial lamb. And Nima took a lot of damage too, so Lich gets himself a double for that one. The important one, Sexy Bamboo goes out. It's fine if Enigma as well as Dazzle died. They're not the big important heroes. The support heroes should always die first. And they did actually die. Ancient Apparition, Shadowfeed, and Pudge, they're the big ones. How's SF looking? Quarterstaff up for him. So it looks like he's actually going to go early Shadow Blade. Shackle Shot holding the Ancient Apparition as well as Pudge in place. And Windrunner says, screw that, I'm out. Yep, well, there goes Waga. He actually also says, hey, it's Lothars and SF. It's a good arm to go to. He's being ganked off pretty well. Oh, hello, there's a glitch in the animation. Happens every now and then with a Shackle Shot from Windrunner. It'll actually keep on happening too. For some reason, they'll just go, hey, you're still being shackled, but you're not actually having any effects. Yeah, Lothars, by the way, is Shadow Blade. So, still just having to translate that up for some people.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And now Sexy Bamboo can come in, and Hook goes, grabs the Earthshaker, will ulti up, but gets Vengeful Spirit stunned. Good ultimate in there from the Ancient Apparition. 4-staffing, bringing Sexy Bamboo closer, which of course just means the rot just keeps on going, and the Earthshaker, there's nothing he can do about it. He gets slowed down to a bear crawl of a pace. Sexy Bamboo still wants to initiate here in the middle lane. That's why he's just hanging around. Also pointing out the 4-staff on Pudge. It was something which one of the observers also pointed out. The fact that 4-staff is actually there, it does actually mean that, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a glitch. It's just the way the hook actually works. You can actually 4-staff yourself in a direction after you actually use a hook, and it gives extra range to your hook. It's this weird kind of way of actually running it. But we might see an example of it by Sexy Bamboo pretty soon. And he is looking to actually initiate from the top. And with that ward up there by the Radiant, they've got perfect vision. So there goes the hook. Latches him in. Marana leaps away. And then ran back in again. Force Hook does actually work in Dota 2. I have seen Dendi actually use it a couple of times in pubs. Unless they've changed that up. Okay, Pudge actually can't move during the hook, so Hjord actually is, okay. So he has actually been locked on that. It was an old Warcraft 3 thing that you could actually do that. It was just never changed. So Windrunner running back from that bottom lane, but she's got to run pretty fast. Sexy Bamboo is on the way. But she is back past that tier 1 tower. And Sexy Bamboo, this is all he needs to do. And, oh, Lich! He has his ultimate. It should be popping right now. The fissure goes. Pop that Lich ultimate. He hooks him down. They're going to even closer. A ulti will fly. There goes our shallow grave. Weave as well. Enigma blinks in over the top. Grabs up Lich. There is still no ultimate from him. Enigma's on the run. The shackle shot is there. Bamboo goes for the hook. He is still just caught in the side of the trees. He is not the one that's dead. They focused on Dazzle and then went for the Enigma. SF now comes in towards the fight, getting stunned off very, very fast. Earn charge goes. They need a little bit more damage. Raid's actually missing. Not the easiest thing to actually get. Shackle shot tried to actually go. Ancient Apparition. She gets the last tip there, but it will cost his life. And RMX pops the Shadow Fiend ulti, but it is merely for the point of dying and popping it before he dies. Doesn't want to waste those souls. Sexy Bamboo is still on the hump. I really don't know why Lich didn't pop off the ulti during that point. Sexy Bamboo spotted out the Lich. He's already frosted up. He wants to force-staff himself down the cliff. He does do so successfully, but he's got himself caught. On the bright side for him, however, they also can't get to him. Unless Mirana leads up towards the high ground, at which point then they can see him. And he denies! Oh! What a mistake! It wasn't even a mistake. You can see it right there. There's no vision. He walked into the corner. Mirana leaped up, and she had that vision in the position he was actually in, but he was able to pop off that rot. And the rot, while it gives you damage and gives you slow, it takes away your life. So Bamboo denies himself. So while it will look like a death on his board, and it's the second one for him, he's actually only died one time officially, loses no gold, loses no doesn't give any XP. There's a proper deny. Shadow Fiend getting initiated already here in that middle lane. Ancient Apparition will pop off the ultimate. There goes the regen for at least Lich. You can see a little bit of a lag spike coming out. Shadow Fiend still trying to get towards that. I'm wanting to say Lothar's, but Shadowblade. Shadowblade, of course, a great item too for the Shadow Fiend. He can actually just walk himself right inside a fight. And speaking of fight, bottom lane, Bamboo's already started. Yes! Gets a good blink in to pop off his... Actually, it wasn't even a blink. He got swapped in by the Vengeful Spirit, who was almost dying. In fact, did die in the end anyway. And Earthshaker also joins him. But swapped him in and got a good ES ulti up, but it still wasn't enough to kill him. And charges now just pop. Someone actually got a mech. We did see that Dagon up on the Ancient Apparition. That's how we got that kill on the retreating hero on the top before. And Dazzle's walking around with smoke. Gave me some of a point booster as well. Surprised I actually don't see a mech. That double heal is just so powerful. Channeling now for power from the power shot, so Bamboo might look for a random hawk. They did not even see Mirana. There is no vision. Actually, did they? Yeah, they did. But Ancient Apparition is... No, they didn't. They just thought they're going to pick up the Windrunner after that, but they got themselves a Mirana. And I've loved to have that vision toggle just then, but it only works in Dota TV. Dota TV, of course, does not work when you're actually live inside the game.
Radiant's top
And
tower
Pudge now going back down towards the bottom lane. Lich is there, but they get revealed out. Hook goes, just a bit of a lucky hook, and there you go, there's that combination. It's starting off again. Mid hook, then right. Just that way, in case he does actually find somebody. Oh, Bamboo, are you seriously going to do this, man? He's actually going to do this. On the edge of the cliff, he can pull anybody in here while the push starts on the tower. He'll pull somebody completely out of the play, and he can see him too. He can see him, but they can't see him. He's got the high ground. And no, he's too close to the edge. ALD will fly down. Oh, Bamboo's going to be annoyed with that. It was too close to the edge for that. Force-staffs himself down a little bit further while Winder actually cuts a path with a power shot. Weave will now go. Lich only does not bounce, but it does get the kill on the Ancient Apparition while Dazzle manages to get a shallow grave off. Black Hole wants to hold him in place too. The stun there from Mirana want to hold Dazzle there. And we lose Enigma as well as Dazzle. In the meantime, Pudge has actually left. He's got himself back to base. And Shadow Fiend was having fun in the middle lane too. He's actually got himself his Shadow Blade up now. And grab himself a DD room. So bowl it, then activate it. That way you get your extra charges. Get your life, get your mana. They should be able to defend this bottom lane. Should be able to defend this lane. Okay, but there's still a lot of mana coming out from the Dire. That's what those arcane boots are for. She got double arcanes? No, it's just one arcane. So arcane from Earthshaker.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So now we will look for SF. Shadow Blade will start. He will want to do this with a big ultimate. He will not come out of invis until the ulti pops. The ulti will go. Everyone is affected. The AA ulti will fly in as well. He's playing on the back wall. They're trying to retreat out. The mech charge popped off from Lich. That did actually help out as well as the shackle shot holding RMX in place. It was the first kill from Sexy Bamboo. He wants one more. The slow from the Ancient Apparition. That's what the Vortex does. Bamboo launches on a tango for the Lich. That could have been the worst mistake of his life. The Hawk. The Hawk. 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 Where's the Hawk? It's right up Lich's ass. And he will go down. 22 minutes in now. And the TP goes out again. SF goes back to farming. He's got that Ogre Axe. And we're looking for that BKB. Not really actually required with that BKB, actually. Even though he is going to be initiated on. Considering he has that Lothar, he already has the ability to pop off that ultimate. It's a fantastic item on the SF. A lot of people do prefer like the Blink BKB. I kind of prefer the whole like Shadow Blade approach to it. Pop off the Shadow Blade, and then you pop off your ultimate. And you won't come out of the invis until you actually cast the ultimate. And that only happens after you actually cast it, after the damage actually flies out. The closer you are, more damage you do, so Lothars gets you in a good position. Power shot on the bottom lane, Shallow Grave, probably going at the wrong hero, but he does at least get his weave out right now, so it's just pulling all the armor away from the Earthshaker and giving it all over towards the Enigma. Will manage to actually let him live through most of this until Mirana does actually catch him down, but it's Sexy Bamboo with the double kill. He'll look for a lucky arrow here, a lucky hook. He can see him because the SF is there. 4-star Hawk off to the side. Lich was also there. He won't want to give up. Mirana leaps up. The Hawk's still on cooldown. SF is diving. Diving pretty stupidly, though. He walked inside the base. He has no mana arrow. Ooh, that got a little bit too close to Bamboo. Just walking inside the main base. Kind of suicidal there by SF, but luckily for him, there was enough heroes down, enough heroes going back to regenerate. Ancient Apparition actually reconnects back to the game, so he must have disconnected during that fight. That would not have actually helped them. Throws the ultimate to demolish off the creep wave. That initial burst damage. Also gets the last hit. So Dagon level 1. He also has himself a quarterstaff. We might see like mass invis. Downside about doing that though is just get yourself a gem, some dust, and then all of a sudden your Shadow Blade is not that good. If you get more than one for heroes like SF, like you kind of want it because you want to check out where SF is, but you also want to think about it this way. If SF's got one, that's half a reason to get a dust. But if we see Enigma walking around with one, if we see Ancient Apparition walking around with one, more than enough reason to actually buy up a gem, to buy up dust, and to always make sure you got dust, which basically shuts SS movements down. And, well, nope, missing a hook this time. Actually, no, it doesn't! He wanted the Earthshaker, but he picked up a Lich. AA ulti will definitely hit. In fact, oh, hang on, that's in a little bit of a bad position, but it's still going to kill off Lich. Lich is actually shattered right now. The Urn Charge will make sure of that by Sexy Bamboo. And Shallow Grave will keep Bamboo alive. VS swapping him back in again, so that will not let him live, but he commits suicide! Again, the denial! Ancient Apparition with the cold feet holds Earthshaker in place. So she held himself in place. It is the fissure. Once again, it's great for actually getting your team into a good position, but it's also horrendous for getting your team caught in a horrible position. Windrun actually caught down on the lower side again. Again, this area is never used in Dota 1. And in this match already, we've seen it used so many times. 4 staffs galore. In the meantime, SF's pushing out the top on his way to actually completing up his BKB. Already got the Mythical Hammer, already got the Ogre Axe. Something about, I think it's 200, 300 gold short of actually finishing off the rest. And with the DD rune, he should be able to bring down this tier 2 tower on the top. Looks like Windrunner wants to try and stop him though. TP support will come in. Tower will still take a little bit more damage. Shackle shot hits on the Shadow Fiend, but that's what the Shadow Blade is for. It's kind of appropriate the Shadow Fiend takes a Shadow Blade. So a lot of heroes TP'd up towards the top lane to try and stop that push. The SF, even though he has been ganked off a hell of a lot, it's that distraction, it's that fear that comes out from ganking that causes you to actually lose out. And that's why like Na'Vi was so successful in their basically reign of the Dota world. They would gank up, and oh, hello, Ancient Apparition wants to come up to help out. Cold Feet. It's actually not going to go off just yet, and there goes the ultimate, willing to bring down the Earthshaker, and Dagon from the Ancient Apparition is the one that gets the last hit. They want to get this kill fast. They can actually focus on Mirana. Mirana leaps, but we do see the 4-staff. Good VS swap. Realized the AOD was going to come in. Sexy Bamboo wants to be caught in place there by the Windrunner Shackle, but the Shackle didn't actually chain onto anything, so the Black Hole holds Windrunner in place, who then pops off Windrunner and gets itself back out again. Dazzle screaming out his name, and a Hawk again! Seriously, Peter Pan would be Sexy Bamboo's like arch nemesis. Shallow Grave then Earn Charge. Keeps Bamboo there on the front lines. He's looking for the Wind Run. 4-staff goes. Wind Run using the 4-staff herself to actually, well, not even avoid. The hook is actually a little bit too low for that. But it will force it back out again. And there goes the tower in the mid. In the meantime, though, we actually hit almost 1,400 gold difference in favor of the Radiant. It's been slowly climbing up here. I wouldn't say the whole game's been carried by Pudge. It's actually been a very nice play by all heroes. And, oh, hello, good arrow there by Mirana. Hold Sexy Bamboo in play. Starfall as well. Is she better get this kill? There's no Shallow Grave. He was actually short of the mana for it. Now he has the mana for it, but that's not going to help him. Ancient Apparition goes down as well. Shackle Shot will hold Shadow Priest in place. And Dazzle, he actually has no mana right now, so he can't even heal. He actually has enough for a Shallow Grave. I am corrected. And in comes the BK being Shadow Fiend. He gets a good raise up to kill off Mirana. Will want to pick up the Windrunner as well. And it's actually Parchu's back! Gets himself a hook, picks himself up a souvenir. It is a Windrunner, and then runs into the base. Rot, ultimate, slice, dice, hack, and rip. Doesn't get the last hit there on the Lich, though. Sexy Bamboo wants to go for another hook. Misses on the Earthshaker. But it's the Earn Charge. That's the reason why I didn't want to pursue it. Earn Charge was popped off there on that Lich. As I said, it can actually deal damage, or it can heal. In this case, it did damage. And killed off Lich Hawk. Again, the Earthshaker sitting on the edge. And again, the Hawk flying out. In the meantime, Shadow Fiend is keeping up with all the runes. Actually, no bottle on him. So, obviously not really enjoying it that much. Surprising, actually. He had the bottle before. Must have sold it to actually complete up that BKB for the fight. Really, he shouldn't have done that. The bottle's actually great. Thank you very much for Waga. It's good to have you tuning in, man. We do try and keep it educational as possible, as well as also trying to keep it a little bit more technical for all those guys out there too who know the world of Dota. Pudge now wants to go in. 4-staff! Good ES stun! It was actually his ultimate, which actually has that effect of the stun. That's his extra ability. The hook actually missing. 4-staff goes up. Lich ulti bounces nowhere. It actually stops for Sexy Bamboo. VS swapped him back in again, so the Lich ulti didn't actually have that far to go. Ancient Apparition's on the run, but he should be able to get out there. Windrunner! Oh, that was beautiful. I wish I saw the whole animation. 4-staffs herself up here, so with the Windrunner ability, 4-staffs herself up, keeps her speed up, and also takes out the tree line, making it a very, very clean line to actually run. Of course, 4-staff, and I will be mentioning a hell of a lot tonight. It actually costs up a little bit. It does cost you a little bit of money. I can't remember the exact amount. But you can actually see 10 intelligence, 10 damage, 10 attack speed, pretty low cooldown, and only costs 25 mana to pop up. So for all those casting heroes, that is nothing. That's just pocket change. But it pushes you. Or an enemy, as you can see it, like simple, you can read the description, pushes any target unit, 600 units, in the direction it is facing. It is facing. Double click it to self-cast. Yeah, the goal difference is 15k, and that's actually being pointed out by Rage right now. But you also notice that small little dip back in again. It's the hardest thing when you play Dota to actually push into the base. And it's the hardest thing for two reasons. Hello, Bamboo. He wants a hook. He was actually waiting for that stun before he did this. Now he'll look for ES, who walks around in a circle. It's actually, well, he did a pretty good juke there. That's a pretty good juke. Gets himself away from Sexy Bamboo. But yes, pushing in the base is actually hard for multiple reasons. So, first one being, is high ground. Simple thing. Concept which not a lot of League of Legends people actually know, because League of Legends is a perfectly flat map. And you work a little bit differently. Your vision is changed around by bushes and actually going through shrubs. And that changes around that way. Here's some new Earth people. They'll be pretty familiar with what actually happens with it all. So yes, fighting from the high ground, if you attack up the hill, you actually have a missed percentage chance. So for the team that's actually defending this, not only have they got a tier 3 tower that deals a fair chunk of damage, like 152 damage with every single hit. Pretty awesome. Has a little alive as well. Always got that glyph, which is another thing which actually slows you down from pushing in. Means the tower will always stay up. Hello, arrow! Hits on the Ancient Apparition. There's a 5-second stun. Dazzle wants to keep him alive. Pull him back down again. Then the Shallow Grave. Shadow Fiend is going to pop the ulti right on the black hole. Literally will pop as well, but the damage is already done. Windrunner tries to force herself back out again. But in the end, the Pudge Hook, you cannot escape it. 3 heroes go down, and they both actually run to the safest part, which would you be surprising is, double kill for the Earthshaker. He walks right in. Ancient Apparition once again disconnects. But what a big SF ulti, not to mention the black hole. You couple them up together, and life is good. Arrow will hit here on Bamboo. The creep wave is tanking the tower for the moment. Mirana wants to deal off the damage, but Bamboo is a lot of life. Pops the ultimate. It's a pretty low cooldown, only 30 seconds. So he can do it pretty easily and be looking for another hook right now. If he gets one, Mirana will die. She'll take a lot of damage from that hook. But dealing with the damage will force Mirana to fall back. Maybe that'll at least be a little bit more cautious there on the front lines. But yes, meanwhile, back here, you can fight as a team. It's a pretty narrow area. You don't really have a lot of options here. And it's a solid wall. You can't move up here. There's only 3 entrances into every single base. One is here, one is here, and one is here. Simple things for actually going in there. And looks like the players having fun drawing on the mini-map as well. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Keep it professional. Sexy Bamboo setting up for the mid lane once again. Using an Invis rune this time. Got to be a little bit careful, though. He's actually walked straight past the sentry ward, so they know he's actually here. Yeah, you guys are funny, aren't you? Obviously, it's the battle of the E-penis. Shadow Fiend. Lothars goes again. That tower is still up, so we can't get in too close. Even if ES is a Hon player, it's still the same functionality of the way Earthshaker works. You still got to think about where you're going to throw an arrow. It hits, but there's nothing they can do about it. Absolutely nothing they can do about it. Oh, Shadow Fiend will just stand up on the higher ground. The ward is still up there by the Dire, so they still actually have vision of what's happening. And they know the setup. They need that ward too. If they ever want to push outside their own base, they need that ward for vision. Problem they have right now is Bamboo can basically just force-staff himself in right now. Going to look for an early initiation. That is where Bamboo has always found his power as a player. He loves to start up the fights, but they want to get Enigma there as well. Enigma's black hole is actually still on cooldown, and that could be why we're actually seeing a little bit of a stall in the push. They probably want to have that black hole up, but it's still another 28 seconds before it's going to be up and ready to run. Sexy Bamboo in the meantime will just keep the pressure on this mid lane. No one's really losing out from either team right now. It's still the same level of farm. We've only seen the mid lane being farmed up. The only thing that's different is they're buying time for Enigma. 10 seconds. 10 seconds before the initiation. Creep wave will come in. It's got a catapult in the end of it too. It's always great to push when there's actually a siege creep coming in. When there's a siege creep, more damage is done to this little guy here. And that's the time you want to push. Sometimes you get 2, sometimes you get 1, and sometimes you get Mirana, who just walks herself straight out of the main base. So now we're going to go. Enigma's got to get himself here. So important for him to actually get that blink dagger in and get the ultimate. Arrow will fly again. It spots 3 heroes there. They need an opening, but the creep wave's going to die. It's the reason why Mirana want to come in a little bit closer. And there's that wall by Sexy Bamboo. It's out of range of these towers. It's a great fun wall position, and really, the Dire need to actually know that wall is going to be coming up. And he's planning on both sides. They've got perfect vision. Perfect vision inside the main base. And that's why these guys are so far back. They would have thought those walls were up a long, long time ago. And Sexy Bamboo just wants to kill one. Just one. Might even think at this point, we're down to pressure this on the mid. They might think about going Roshan again. He is back up and alive. And they should actually have all their ultimates up. If not the BKB on Enigma. In fact, that's what the courier is now flying in. Yeah, BKB recipe. As I said, there are very, very few ultimates to go through BKB. Enigma is actually one of them. But of course, he's not the reason why he's getting the BKB. There's no ultimate on the Dire side that can go through that. Now the push will come. No siege creep, in fact, no creep wave whatsoever. So interesting timing choice to actually go this. Oh, the Hawk misses on Lich. And still wants to keep him back here. Good shackle shot. They line up Dazzle as well as Sexy Bamboo. Yes! Huge ulti! They've killed up Dazzle already, but so goes Enigma. He wanted to get that big black hole off, but Vengeful Spirit was there to help out. Lich now was able to pop up his ultimate. BKB pops off from Shadow Fiend. Enigma's already got himself a killing spree right now. They're chasing the Lich as well as the Windrunner back inside the main base where Mirana is. Lich taking a lot of damage. RMX unable to actually trigger off on that Shadow Race properly. A long range arrow there on the Pudge. Forced up himself back down to safety. Shadow Fiend getting killed off. He was well too far, and he should not have been diving that. While they claim the melee rash, they're going to lose off too many heroes. Enigma goes down, while Pudge did manage to actually hook off Mirana as well. Ancient Apparitions. Oh, it should be able to actually shatter Mirana right now. If that is actually the ultimate, yeah, it is. It's actually Pudge's Urn Charge gets the kill before he TPs back out again. With the melee creep melee down now, you see those the mega melee creeps. 776 HP, 48 in the attack damage. So 776 to 590, and that's 25. So more pushing power. They're also worth less money, which doesn't actually help out. Yeah, that Enigma, I actually kind of realized too. The Enigma Black Hole is kind of a bit of an exception to what actually goes through a BKB. You can pop off the BKB, but you got to keep channeling. And he channels in the wrong area. So the VS is actually one of the big targets that needs to be brought down at the start. So VS swap actually does work on the BKB, but it only works on the BKB because it's a channeling spell. That's the reason why the VS actually does go up against the Earthshaker. Up against the Enigma. So in the meantime, the Dire will be looking for a little bit more breathing space. So we're seeing Windrunner using her abilities to try and push out this mid lane. She could do it too. Actually, great to see a Scythe of Vice up on her. To people from the old Dota world, they'll know it as a Gwinsu. For people from, I believe it's just known as Sheepstick in the Water Pond. Sheepstick is the easiest one. It turns you into a sheep. Yeah, there's actually a couple of things to actually change you around. You get turned into a pig if you actually get done by Lion's Hex. Actually, Lion turns you into a frog. You get turned into something else. Whoop. Hook. And I get himself a neutral though. Arrow will fly out. Just having a little bit of a look around. Man's still there on the front lines. He's got himself an Aghanim Scepter as well. So Scepter upgrade, increased radius and increased duration. So basically, duration now, it's not 24. I think it actually just pops onto a level to 30. I think it actually goes straight to 30. Just realized also the amount of HP on the Pudge. 3,600 with the Vanguard as well as the Hood now. 3,600 gold because he gets a lot of that from this from Flesh Heap. Strength bonus of 1.8. Magic resistance of 16. Arrow will hit because he takes he took a fair amount of damage from that arrow, but the problem is he's got so much life, it's not funny anyway. You can't really kill him. And he's actually being held in place by Roshan right now. Force-starts himself up towards the high ground so he can fight this properly. Earthshaker, cold feeded up. Lich will let off the ultimate, does not bounce, but Enigma now comes in. BKB goes. He's picked up Windrunner as well as the Earthshaker. There goes the heal while Sexy Bamboo is trying to kill off the rest of the players in the back end. He does pick up the Lich for the price of the Anti-Mage. And now SF is back again. Mirana is forced to leap back out again, but she leaps and tries to do it. Great hook there by Sexy Bamboo. A little bit of a pointless ulti by RMX. See Earthshaker running around on minimal HP, trying to run from the Enigma. SF already popping off the Shadow Blade. Always a great thing, not only for the invis, but for the extra movement speed you get when you pop it. So he's on the run for the Windrunner. So it looks like everyone's got their missions. Earthshaker actually just hanging inside the trees right now. And the blink will go. They pick up Windrunner. Pudge comes in. VS swaps with the Pudge. And then SF will actually just sit inside the 2 hits. Kills off the Vengeful Spirit. There's that Manta style. The extra damage. And Earthshaker still on the run, but he'll run back up through the mid. In the meantime, their mid's actually been finished, so the power of the Mega Creeps, if you don't keep those lanes checked, then basically you're going to lose the rest of that lane. So they take out the range barracks, which wasn't killed during the first assault. Range barracks, sometimes people do actually prefer to actually kill that off. It has less armor. What are you doing back in there that far, SF? Suppose you probably feel confident considering the mid's already pushed. Should be using those Manta Missiles. Actually, he's using that Manta to hold the creep wave back, but the catapults actually pulled the creep wave with it. Enigma's using his conversion to help out, so they'll take out the bottom tower, which makes SF very, very comfortable down there. He can pop up that Shadow Blade whenever he wants to now. He didn't have mana at one point, but the mana is now back up again. Lich will come up, and there goes the Shadow Blade. They can't see him. The tower's gone, so they don't have their ability to see the invis. There goes that Dust, though. Dust will hit. Arrow flies in the wrong direction. SF's run the opposite direction, and Sexy Bamboo will be looking for a 4-star hook. There's a big creep wave there between the two of them. There's a 4-star. There goes the hook. But he was not expecting Miranda to still be down there. Enigma blinks in as well. Magic Missile stun will go. Maurice wants to get a little bit closer, but Bamboo still actually has 900 HP. It looks like he's got nothing, but he's got 4K worth of HP. Hook flies again. Misses again. And he's slowly healed back up again. Earn charges. They hardly even heal him up now. He's got so much life. I think he's got more life than... Yeah, he's actually got like 3 times... Actually, what do you got for Windrunner? Double the life of Windrunner. I hear it. Get over here. It means he actually latched onto somebody. Hey, ulti will fly up. 4-staffing up. Bamboo just looking for an ultimate there to actually try and latch on to the Lich. He's still in a little bit of trouble, but that Shallow Grave is still up, so if they get closer, and there goes the weed. Suck the armor out. SF pops the ultimate, but there's very little in the range of it. Sexy Bamboo is the only one to get the kill for anyone who was actually in the range of it. Just rotting himself up, getting stunned during the middle of the rot, so he can't actually cancel off the rot. But the blood's actually happening on the other lane. Agency model finally pops off. Windrunner will get caught in the black hole and killed. And this will spell out GG with the bottom racks going to go down. They will pick off Miranda, who actually pops off her ultimate, but she still got caught inside the rot. But the bottom is gone, and they'll push on through. Tier 4 towers need to go down before they can kill off the throne. And Miranda, she leads back in again. There was vision there, and they actually, with the remaining Enigma stun, it is the Malefice. As long as you actually had that vision, it will repeatedly actually stun. So the stun duration is only 1 second, but the damage per hit is 80. Enigma blink in. And there we go once again. Malefice, low cooldown. Miranda's called in, she bought back. And we'll now get Sexy Bamboo ultimate. And actually managed to leap out of that, which is actually pretty impressive, considering the ES Fisher actually stopped the ultimate there by Sexy Bamboo. And Sexy Bamboo just runs straight inside. Gets VS swapped in, but he's still got 2.6k HP. And Shallow Grave will always be there. There it goes. Hunting inside, needs to force himself back out again, does do so. ES Fissure, Bamboo tries to actually live, but Lich with one last frost ends the impossible, or the unstoppable impossible ending killing spree of all kind of things Master Sergeant to the extreme. You know the kind of shazzle. It's all about keeping your ancient fortress alive. At this point, yeah, at this point, it's pretty harsh. The bottom lane will push, the top lane will push, the A ulti that's going to fly in, and that's actually probably, it's not going to get a kill back in the main base. Windrunner will take a little bit of damage from it. It does stop a regen, but it's not it. It's also the Vengeful Spirit doesn't want to give up hope just yet. Not until the Fat Lady sings. We put a muzzle on his mother tonight. Actually, Fat Ladies are the best singers, man. They're just trying to keep the creep wave at bay. All that needs to be done right now by the Radius to push it through the top, and also catch out a hero who's actually caught out of place, like Lich. And there goes that Dagon. Level 4 Dagon as well. Most people actually don't level up the Dagon. Yeah, most people don't level up the Dagon because it's just not worth the money. Like, you get extra intel, and you get an extra 100 damage. But it's nothing, man. Not for the price of the extra Dagon recipe. So most people just will go Dagon, level 1. They'll use it for shits and giggles. But that's basically where she sits. 4-star Finn will manage to get the ultimate now on Windrunner. 1 raise, 2 raise, AA ulti, flies over the top, completely out of position because of the ES stun. And now the weave actually going off, but Shallow Grey Force will actually go off in the Ancient Apparition. before he's actually going to die. But there's 3 dead right now. Sexy Bamboo is once again going to run himself inside the main base. Shallow Graves actually still got another 4 seconds before it comes off cooldown, so he's going to be a little bit more careful. But considering he's got 4.3k HP, not that bad. And a Blade Mail now to cap it off. And there we go. The GG call. The GG, not even a call. It is the final animation. The ancient fortress disappears into the well of hot burning liquid magma, which does end our game. I always like to show this screen at the end of the game, though, so you actually see the last hits, because there's a screen like this that actually shows you what your last hits are, what your deniers were, so just how well you're going for farm, the XP per minute. So even if you weren't farming, you're still involved in a lot of the fights. So the highest XP actually goes to Sexy Bamboo, because he's involved in so many of the fights. 23 kills and 28 assists out of the 59 kills inside. You want to do the math and you'll come up with 52. So there was actually 7 kills that Sexy Bamboo was not involved in, or he was involved in them, but he just didn't deal the damage to actually get the assist point. So big play out by Sexy Bamboo. He is definitely one of the big up-and-coming Dota superstars out there. So I highly suggest, he actually has no live stream. He actually plays a lot with me, though. So keep tuning in to join Dota, and you'll actually get to watch Crapword more there. But that was well played there by our guys on the Dire. Actually, someone was just saying, I see Hellspawn. Yeah, Hellborn if you're actually, Hon inclined. But yes, that's the end of our games, end of our show matches for this evening, and also the end of our broadcast for this evening. So thank you very much for actually tuning in. This is myself, Toby1, wishing you a very, very good evening all around the world, and stay warm, because it's bloody cold here. Thank you very much. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow.